Hi Sequels friends, it is the first Friday of a new month, and you know what that means? It is time to talk about July sales. Hi there Sequels friends, it is so fabulous to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new, my name is Heather and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Etsy, and I use this YouTube channel to document my journey. So I do a lot of sales analysis, lots of reselling content, tips and tricks, as well as good old-fashioned thrift hauls, and unboxings, and starting to do some more travel to thrift. So speaking of which, before we deep dive into this analysis, let me tell you, I am actually going to be leaving tomorrow to go to Charlotte, North Carolina to see one of my comedians that I absolutely love. I figured while I was in Charlotte, I would do a thrift to travel. That is where I do some thrifting while I'm in a destination, hoping that I can thrift enough stuff to pay for my trip. So I would like to ask you guys from the beginning, if you are in the Charlotte area or you are familiar with the Charlotte area, please drop a comment of your favorite thrift store or the thrift store that you think I need to go to. And if you don't already follow me, you will definitely want to go ahead and subscribe to my Instagram, as I am going to do my best, because I am not the best Instagrammer, but I am going to do my best to attempt to share that little trip with you over there on Instagram. So that's out of the way. Let's get straight on into July sales. First of all, I am so happy to announce that sales are starting to pick back up for me. July sales came in at $2,134.34. Those were my gross sales. If you're new, just remember I am a part-timer. And the net came in at $1,339.81. That is a 63% ROI, which means 63% of the total 100% of the sales actually ended up in my pocket. Just as a reminder, June came in at a little over $1,000. So that is a 31.4% increase, getting much closer to that $1,400 that I had been making in spring. Love that. Overall, I sold 70 units versus last month's 60 units, which was a 16% increase. My average sale price, which you guys know, all of 2021, I've been trying to get to the over $20 mark. I just feel like if I could sell over $20 items, then I would be putting less effort into my reselling business and getting more out of it. I still have not been able to hit that number, but I am happy to report I came in at $19.14 this month versus my $19.15 last month. So I seem to be holding pretty strong at 19, which I'm super psyched about. 60% of the items that netted more than 20 bucks in my pocket were vintage. I've been hounding on this a lot for the last few months. Vintage seems to bring in a decent dollar return, and I love it. Not only do I have an appreciation for vintage, but I also love that it makes me more money. Now, out of the total 70 units that sold, 35% of those items were vintage. So there are vintage items that are making me less than 20 bucks that are still moving. So that is what is making that number. But what I was shocked about when I looked at that number is I've been averaging about 18% of my total inventory in vintage. But this month it jumped up to 35%. I'm kind of shocked by that. As with summer, markdowns are continuing to perform for me, which is great because nothing's better than clearing out of the old to make room for the new, especially with the extra thrifting I'll be doing for fall holiday season. It looks like I averaged 16% of my total sales were in markdowns. That's versus 17% for June, which is interesting for both of those months being that high, as I usually average about 8 to 9% for markdowns. Let's get into my favorite breakdown by category and platform. Here are my handy dandy charts. Let's do category first. The first up is dresses. This is no surprise. This category is always highlighted just about every month. Dresses perform so well for me. I sold 8 out of my 70 units were dresses. That's 11% of the total, but it made 257 out of the total sales, which is 19% of the total. Remember, whenever those dollar percentages are higher than the unit percentages, that means you're making more dollars on less units. This is a category that is making me money. Next up is the home goods category. Don't typically see this up at the top unless I buy a bulk box and have a huge influx in home goods items. But I did have a vintage item, I think, that's going to show up in my BOLO list, which is probably part of this. I ended up selling 7 home items, which is 10% of the total, and it made up 8% of the total dollars. Pretty flat there. And then last up, another category which you see on this chart all the time, and that is shoes. 14% of the 70 units sold were shoes, and that was 20% of the total, and they made up 26% of the total dollar sales at $344. So great category. Let's talk about the sales by platform. Overall, I sold the same number of units on Poshmark as eBay. Whoa, that is weird. That doesn't usually happen. Normally, I had been at the beginning of the year selling way more on Poshmark than on eBay, and then somewhere it's gotten kind of flat, and now it's exactly even. So 32 items on both platforms, and I did 6 units on Etsy. Total dollar-wise, I still made a few more dollars over on Poshmark than on eBay. 42% of my dollar sales came from Poshmark, 38% of my dollar sales came from eBay, but look at that Etsy number. 20% of my total dollar sales came from Etsy. 9% of the stock produced 20% of the dollars. That means the price of the goods selling through Etsy are phenomenal. So there's where we are by category, there's where we are by platform, and you know what time it is now. Let's talk about BOLOs. First up, this sale is on eBay, and these are 1990s Lee casual shorts. I believe that these were the plus size version of a short I had sold a month or so prior that I thrifted in a regular size version, and I can't believe I found 2 pairs of vintage shorts that were the exactly the same, but in one in an extended size, which was really cool. I ended up selling these on eBay for a total. Now these eBay totals include what they paid for in shipping, as I always charge shipping on probably 95% of my items on eBay. I ended up taking an offer for $36.99, and I netted, after platform fees and a little bit higher cost of goods, $23.24. So be on the lookout for some vintage shorts. These Ralph Lauren black croc leather loafer came in a, I want to say, thread-up box. If I figure out otherwise, I will post a correction right here for myself. But I believe I got these in a thread-up box. And based on the cost of goods of $667, I probably did. I had these listed for $44, took an offer of $39 on Poshmark for them, and it ended up netting $23.03. These Born Gold Oxfords I picked up at a new thrift store when I was thrifting over for my travel to thrift in Black Mountain. I'll list that video below if you haven't seen it, because those shorts, those 90s shorts, as well as these, sold from that thrift haul, which many items have sold through. I'm pretty impressed with that thrift haul. So these I had listed for $39. I took an offer on Poshmark for $31 and ended up making $20.39, and that was a pretty quick flip in just a week and a half. This 90s J. Peterman, which I love J. Peterman catalog like Seinfeld. That's the total reason I picked this up, on top of it being a very saleable silhouette. I got this at the Salvation Army back in January, so it took some time to sell, but also notice it's a sweater and it sold in July. I had it listed for $49 and ended up taking an offer on Poshmark for $32 and netted $20.11. These new with tag vintage Charles Jordan shoes came in my, the name is escaping me, Jomar. Came in my Jomar vintage shoebox. And they were new with tags, dead stock. I ended up listing these for $49, taking an offer for $44, and netted $30.32 after cost of goods and Poshmark platform fees. Not bad at all considering cost of goods on that box were only $3.38. These vintage 1980s Allen Edmonds shoes. I had them listed higher than this at one point, but I took the price down to $69. I ended up selling them on eBay with shipping, so I took an offer for $74.99, but I did net $59.93, so not too shabby at all. This vintage 80s multi-crystal glass pitcher, if you watched my sourcing around the house video, this was definitely one of the items in it that a friend had given to us. I ended up selling this one on eBay, had it listed for $49, took an offer with shipping of $41.99 and netted $36. Jones of New York wool pleated skirt. Based on the price, I sourced this at Goodwill. I'm finding with the dark academia midi skirts, especially wool midi skirts or pleated accordion pleated skirts are moving for me. I had it listed for $49, took an off, sold it for full asking price on Poshmark. When does that ever happen? And ended up netting $35.01. Alexa Chung for Adriana Goldschmied. These came in a ThreadUp DIY denim box, if I remember correctly. Listed them for $49, sold them on eBay for, it looks like full asking price plus shipping of $57.99 and netted $39.20. 90s Cole Haan leather slides, listed them for $49, took an offer on Poshmark for $35, netted $23.38. I loved those shoes. Here's another bag, an item that I loved. You know, if I say I love it, I'm keeping it for myself. If it doesn't sell in a month, guaranteed to sell within less than 30 days. This is this Millie Bianco bag. I purchased this as well on that Black Mountain Travel to Thrift video that I mentioned before. This is a vegan leather bag. I had it listed for $39. I took an offer on Poshmark for $32 and netted $21.60. These Danny Black sandals, oh, I love these. Both those Cole Haan and these Danny Blacks came from that Jomar regular shoebox, which I gotta tell you, I gotta go look because I'm pretty confident I've sold through more than 50% of that. And even though I wasn't thrilled about that box, it really seems to be moving for me overall. So that will be a fun recap to share with you guys. As for these shoes, they sold on eBay, listed them for $49, took an offer with shipping of $45.99 and netted $24.51. These are vintage EP Zinc silver plated serving tongs, like scissor fork tongs. They sold on Etsy. I had them listed for $39. They sold for $42.27. The difference is tax. And after platform fees and the cost to ship them, I ended up netting $32.34. These Adidas Superstar trainers, I got these in a ThreadUp box. Sold them on Poshmark, had them listed for $34. They sold for $34. And I ended up making $20.53. This is a 90s Leanne Barnes cardigan. It ended up selling on Etsy again. I had it listed for $39. It sold for $42.02. Again, that includes tax. And after platform fees, cost of goods, and the like, I made $23.42. Here's another midi pleated skirt, accordion pleated, very dark academia. It is from 1990s and it is Susan Bristol. I've had this one since December of last year. It sold on Poshmark. I had it listed for $39. I took an offer for $35 and netted $22.51. Amanu Black Gladiator sandals came from a ThreadUp box. sold on eBay. I had them listed for $139. I took an offer with shipping of $113.99 and netted $85.69. This beautiful vintage 80s Victoria's Secret robe. I've heard that Victoria's Secret robes move quite well. The prices are all over the place. It was so hard for me to price this item as I normally do. I priced it high and I'm pretty confident that I overpriced it as I got multiple offers for less money. I priced it at $49. But my low was $24. Somebody offered me, multiple people offered me $29. And by the time the third or fourth person offered me $29, I said, suck it up, buttercup, let it go for the price. Market has spoken. So I sold it for $29 and ended up still making $21.71 after platform fees and cost of goods. This vintage, I'm guessing 1950s, also came from that Viscose Girl Sweater Weather Jomar box. This one shipped overseas on eBay, and it was fun because she asked me if I knew any more information about it or what kind of, she just really seemed like a true vintage lover, which I very much enjoy. I had it listed for $69, took an offer of $61.99 with shipping and netted $38.29. These were a super cool find at my local Salvation Army. If you've watched me for any time, you know I live for Salvation Army. I find the best things there. These 1970s, total 70s, totally early 70s in my opinion, more of that mod Austin Powers vibe. I picked these up for 99-cent day at Salvation Army. I've had them since March. I had them listed for $99 and I've had little to no interest in them. I think they are so cute and in a very wearable size 7.5. Somebody on Poshmark offered me $60 for them. I said, today is your lucky day because nobody seems to have any interest in these. But again, sometimes I just have to suck it up and realize what the market value is because again, cost of goods 99 cents and I still netted $47.01 on them. Not too shabby at all. This is one of my favorite buys of the month, one of my favorite sales of the month. And this is a testament to keeping up with trends. I love, love, love this set. It is totally 90s. It is totally something I would have worn in early high school, middle school days. And it hits so many trends for me. It's monochromatic, all pink. It's mixed media with the gingham mixed with the gingham check and pattern mixing. It is also separates. So it's monochromatic, it's pattern mixing, and it's separates. And it also has a very casual, almost pajama-esque vibe, PJ dressing vibe, which is also very trending. So when I saw this at Salvation Army for $3.99, I said, heck yeah, I have to pick this up. It is too cute. Now, when I researched comps, of course, I wasn't finding a lot. I did look up the brand PHR Sport. And again, when I research vintage comps, I tend to lean towards Etsy because they seem to get the most value on their vintage goods. I was shocked to find short separates, cotton short separates, retailing for as high as $59 and the low coming in around the $24 range. So true to my fashion, I listed it high, crossed my fingers and said, you know, multiple people offer me less, then I will certainly lower the price. I listed this set on $7.5. It sold on $7.22 on Etsy for full asking price of $59. After platform fees, probably did an Etsy ad promo fee on this, shipping fees, cost of goods, I netted $46.53. Next up, In Search limited edition pants made in Italy. I saw these when trying to source some men's good at Salvation Army. New tags items always pique my interest, and it said made in Italy. Those two things said it's worth the $3.99 to pick this up. Had them listed since February for $39. Took an offer with shipping on eBay for $36.99, netted $22.46. These 90s Velum beaded silk suit, again from that Black Mountain Thrift to Travel. Got it at Goodwill for $8.99, which is paying up for this cheapskate. It sold for full asking price. Ended up selling for $160.92. That's asking price plus tax. After platform fees, ad costs, and cost of goods and shipping, I made $129.76 on an $8.99 investment. For me, it was all about the beading, the separates aspect, that pale tonal coloration, great Gatsby vibes. That was totally something you could wear at New Year's. And again, in that listing, I said wear them separate, gave ideas of how to wear the skirt on its own, and gave ideas of how to wear the top on its own. And I think that that helped me to get full asking price for that. This J. Crew Ludlow jacket, like a suit jacket. I've had this since January. I had it listed for $49. Somebody on Poshmark offered me $40. I accepted it. My cost of goods, because I got this in the bins that day, the cost of goods, I cost averaged my bin strips, came in at $143, and I netted $30.58. And then last but not least is another Jomar vintage shoebox mystery box item, and it is these beautiful vintage Salvatore Ferragamo Vera Bow shoes, a very classic Ferragamo style. These sold on Poshmark. I had them listed for $69. Mine had a bit more wear than the others did, but they were but you know me, I always listed the high. My low was $39. Somebody offered me $49. I happily accepted that and netted $35.82. So that's where we came in for July. Things are definitely looking up around here. For July, sales are getting back to where they normally need to be, and having vintage in stock has really helped. So let me know, how were your July sales? Are things starting to pick up for you? Did you ever see a little downturn in summertime? Some people say they do, and some people say they don't. I know I slacked my ass off in June, so that may have been part of why I saw a little bit of a downturn. But let me know what you guys think. I love hearing from you. And don't forget, as I said in the beginning of this video, if you are anywhere near Charlotte, or you are familiar with Charlotte or have done some thrifting in Charlotte, if you have any favorite stores, link them below, and I will definitely try to check them out and share with you that in my Instagram feed when I'm over there doing some thrifting. So thank you so much for tuning into this extra long sales video, and I shall see you on Tuesday with some new content. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye.